So then, I mean, I guess what is the story then? So you got to UCLA, you didn't take the scholarship?
No, I didn't take the scholarship. My dad was very angry, and
that must have been a crazy conversation.
It was. There was a lot of me crying in my room.
Yes.
Because I just expected them to pay for college rack rate.
Yeah.
You know, why not? Why can't I go? All my friends are going. You go, oh, well, your friends must have better parents than us. You know,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, sob story. And neither of them went to college. So my dad, he's
very important.
Very important. Yeah. So he's like, I grew up on the streets. I grew up, you know, in a body shop. I have a business brain. I didn't read books. Like I didn't need books. Like I created my own destiny. And you know, staying with my mom. So when they looked at college and they looked at my siblings that were in major financial debt or that they've helped them pay for college, they go, I'd rather buy you a car that could get you to and from work while you're like struggling to, you know, your day job, working at your day job, struggling to get your dream job, than giving you $60,000 a year.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't have $60,000 to give you, you know?
Yeah.
So
how did you do it?
How did I do it?
And wait, and how did UCLA even come up on the radar? And you didn't even go to UCLA for acting.
No.
Taylor, what is going on here? I mean, this is fascinating.
There's a lot of traversing, you know, a lot of traversing. When I was growing up, or I guess even like early on when I moved here, I said to myself, why aren't there people talking about their come up? Like, why doesn't Hugh Jackman or Bradley Cooper saying, you know, this is what I did. This is what I did.
Exactly. Yeah.
And like honestly, my whole goal with people that are on the come up as well, to just share my story of, you know, it's not a lateral. And I think it's such BS when you see these stars, these A-listers on a major show being interviewed, and they don't really talk about their past on the come up. They only talk about it when they have their award.
Yeah.
And I think it motivates so many more people when you really say, it gets better. It gets better. If you keep putting the work in, it gets better, and you know it's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, it's really one of those. Did you ever watch that documentary Free Solo?
Oh yeah. I mean, I had a similar experience in January. I climbed Kilimanjaro, and every morning, you know, you when you start the hike, you see
it. Yeah.
You see it, and you go, all right. Then you hike for 8 hours, 9 hours, and you don't see it again. And you wake up and you see it, and then you hike for 8 or 9 hours and you don't see it again. And there's rolling hills. And we're like, where the F am I going? Oh my God, I am so mad right now.
Yeah,
I don't want to talk to anyone. Don't touch me. Don't look at me. And you know, you have like 6 songs on your phone that play without internet. And so you know them all by heart. And you're just so mad. And so that for me was the journey of the actor, when I go, you have to wake up in the morning and see your Kilimanjaro. You have to see that summit. And then you have to say, okay, what steps am I taking today to get me there? And I'm not going to get to the top today, and I'm maybe not even see it when I go to bed, but I want to see it when I wake up, because that's like the whole, like my dad taught me with visualization, like if you visualize it and you see it, like you can be it.
Every day is getting up and like believing in yourself.
You just need that accountability partner, or just that best friend, or
who is that for you?
Or who? My gosh, I have.
I mean, so many.
I have about 5. I have like Garrett, Maria, Chloe, you know, I mean,
you have a crew.
I have a crew of people that I've been in, you know, been down in the dumps where you have to be the other's support. And you don't need to surround yourself with actors either. You know, sometimes people in other industries have a better point of view of rationalizing it, and they go, that's what you're thinking? Yeah. Why don't you just do this? You go, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
As I've grown older, I've grown to see how art is so collaborative, how it is not a solo journey. I mean, the aspect that we live our everyday journey is a solo journey, but art to me is not in a box. You know, it's like you share it with everybody, and it kind of feeds you.
Yeah.
So, what do you go to college for? What do you study?
Oh, what did I study? I went in. Oh my gosh, I went in with like a political science and econ, and then I dropped the political science, and I said, okay, I think I should just learn more about numbers and things.
Yeah.
And then I picked up another major, which was Spanish culture and community, but like Spanish, culture, community. So it was kind of like
it was a trek. Yeah.
It was a trek, and because I was so interested in how all of different Latin Americans lived throughout the world, and I got to have a really, a couple years of intense study on that. Because I feel like in the United States, but in California, mostly we deal with Mexicans. And like growing up, I dealt with, Middle Eastern people and Mexican people, because that's my background. And so the Mexican people are kind of villainized here. And I was curious if in other countries, like who villainizes? Are there Argentinians that are villainized that come in to the country, Uruguay or something, or are the Venezuelans with Peru? Like all these things were so interesting to me, and I wanted to learn the different accents and dialects of the different Spanish-speaking cultures.
Yeah,
and then I did. I minored in TV film.
There it is.
They're like, watch Citizen Kane. And you're like, all right, I'll watch it. I still don't understand Citizen Kane.
So what did so you decided to move out here. So Chicago to LA, I know it's a long distance.
Yeah.
So you wanted to do that. In the back of your head, did you want to go to UCLA also because you were like, let me try my hand as an actor out here? Was that in the back of your head? It had to be.
Let me tell you, I brokered a deal with my parents, and I said, I will go to school and get a degrees, if you stop trying to give me advice and leave me alone. And they said, all right. I don't think they thought that I really meant it.
Yeah.
And I really did. But I love everything they say, but I think every parent's default is advice that'll keep you safe.
Yeah.
And what's the safe route, and what can you...
And sometimes the way to success is not the safe route.
Yeah. And it only started showing as I, was modeling more. And I kept modeling out here. So I moved to New York, modeled out there, and then I moved back here, and I spent summers there working, and then came here and just, kept modeling and pursuing acting and taking class.
So what do you do if you're ugly? What would you suggest? No, I'm just.
My gosh!
No.
Okay, it's funny you say that, because I think character actors have such a better. They can have way more fun with stuff than the traditionally handsome guy.
That's actually very interesting. And what is because I would imagine a lot of the parts that you go out for are of a certain type of a young, handsome, leader of men in some way. Yeah, a prototype.
The high school
and
senior.
You're a smart enough guy where you see that immediately. Is it exciting for you still when you're going out for a lot of the same things? Or do you make it exciting?
You have to make it exciting.
Yeah.
That's a great point. And I think that's what we kind of do at the studio here.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, yes, you've seen this character in every ABC Family show. Freeform. You've seen it in every Freeform show. You've seen it on every CW show. How do you make it yours, but also know that you're going into a format and you can't really make it yours because they know already what they want.
Yeah, it's already. You just have to hit the mark, say the lines how they picture it.
Exactly.
And boom,
Because for me, I think I always want to have a smile on my face, and I always want to be cracking jokes, and I always want to be, and not in the annoying character way of am I right? Am I right?
Waka waka.
Yeah. And it's just more of I think we do a lot of intelligent humor here, and Taylor, your character would never even think that. That would never go through his head. He wants chicks, he wants beer, and he wants to play football.
Yeah.
I go, okay.
So we do teach you here to pay attention to what you're going for. Like you said, if you are going out for a free-form thing, you kind of know by watching their other programming what they expect. Mm-hmm. And that kind of gives you a little bit of a jump start if you have an audition for them, because it gives you some place to go.
You have to watch the show that you're going out for, at least an episode. Sometimes I get hooked, and then I watch 4 episodes, and then it's 1 a.m. I go, oh God, I still have to prepare this audition. Yeah. And they don't care.
No,
they never care if you watched it. They're like, love your show, and they're like,
I haven't even watched it.
That's why we're still on.
Yeah.
No.
So you're at UCLA. You get your parents to stop to hey, let me chart my own destiny. Mm-hmm. They agree. You're getting your multiple.
I took 25 units a quarter.
Oh my God!
Because I did not, and online classes. I did not want to be at school. I said, I don't want to be here. I'm only doing this. And this is the deal I made. This is the deal, all right? I'm taking classes at like UC Irvine, UC Santa Cruz, UC Davis, like anything that had an internet connection to it. I was like, what can I do? What does this translate to at UCLA? What can I do this? Oh, okay, perfect. Wow. I'd sit down with my counselors, and they hated that I would come in there and I had to sign paperwork saying that if I fail any of these classes, they're not, it's kind of like you have to get a parent's signature to be like, to take 25 units, because I think 18 was kind of like the max. And I said, no, like I need 25. And they thought I was crazy, but I was up till like 2 a.m. doing stuff.
So in the back of your head then, were you actually auditioning? Were you trying to get an acting and
Oh, heck yeah.
Where did you find the time to memorize lines? Where did you find the time for any of this?
I was so funny. I worked for my uncle, and he's a really big set designer, art department. So I worked in art department for a while, and that was like my day job to fund my dream job and college. So I always joke with him that he paid for my college, because all the money that would go into it would pay for my housing and for my tuition.
Wow.
And then, of course, like the money that I had saved and that my parents helped me put away when I was a kid, which really probably only covered like half a year of schooling, or maybe a year of schooling.
Which is crazy how much schooling costs now. Yeah.
It's insane. And so I think I waited to become a
SAG.
No, dude. I waited to become a resident of California, because then it's like it was like $4,000 a quarter at UCLA, and then I was able to parlay that with my scholarship, and I'll work.
Gotcha.
So wait, back to the question. How did I get it all done? A lot of stuff fell into my lap, I will say.
Which does happen, but only. But you have to be prepared at the same time. And
if stuff falls into your lap and you say yes and it's not a fit, you just have to see it as a stepping stone. My friend Jessica Kinsella, who you know, she is one of the hardest working people I know when it comes to her career and just everything she does. And when stuff falls into her lap, she goes, okay, like I'm gonna give this 110%. And if I fail, then I fail. If the relationship fails, it fails. It's okay. And so that's such a great attitude. I agree with that, because you just can't stop. You can't. So I think I first was at a modeling agency called Photogenics, and the agent asked me, "Hey, did you want to act?" And I go, "Yeah, sure, I do.
Yeah,
all right, I want to meet you, like introduce you to this manager." Okay, meet this manager. I start going out. Ryan.
Did you? But you couldn't have known how to audition for TV and film.
That was my next thing. No way, Jose. I did not. I knew nothing.
Did you know enough to be nervous? Were you nervous, or were you like cocky, like, "Hey, I did some musical theater. What's up?"
No, I mean, let me just say, I was good enough to book a guest star on iCarly, which was then cut to a co-star, which was then cut to a one-line. And that's the history. My theory is, because they offered it to me as a co-star, but I went in for it as a guest star. And I said, my theory is that the person they wanted as the guest star couldn't do it. But I think it was also, I don't know his name, Dan,
I know who you're talking about. That guy
Good Burger and all that. I think he just would write 100 pages for 30 pages for a 20-minute show and then just cut it all out. But no, when I first came here to Leslie, she said, "You're this, and this, and you should." Wait,
how did you even know about Leslie? How did you?
Marnie Saida, a casting director over at Days of Our Lives. She was a friend of my uncle's, and she said, "Here are 3 people you should go to." So Leslie was number 1, and I don't remember doing a work session. I feel like I just went straight to intensive. I don't even know. Probably not.
You did a work session. There's no way. Yeah.
And I said, "This lady's crazy. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Does she know who I am?" Kind of thing. Was like
wow. Does she know I take 25 credits a semester? Does she know my story?
I'm high functioning. Yeah. And then I went somewhere else to the other place where they recommended. It was very dark, and the lady held a microphone to her mouth. And
I know what you're talking about.
And I just was floored by all of this. And it was kind of like one of those pyramid schemes where you have to just keep buying and keep buying until you become a god. Like how to become a god, and that
Kirsten Dunst.
Kirsten Dunst. It's kind of like that. And I said, okay, I got privy to it, and I said, I think what Leslie said was right. So I came back, and I think she applauded me, and then just was like, all right, let's get to work. And then I just started coming to class on my off days. I tried to take classes like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then do Tuesday, Thursday working. But then I also had girls in class sign me in, and I'd bring them cupcakes from Sprinkles, and they take notes and they send.
You rigged the system.
So I guess I did buy into my type. Just at college.